My name is Micah Hughes. To fully understand the value that the Republic of Korea holds for the United States, it is important for us to have some knowledge of the history and location of this nation. For centuries, North and South Korea were unified and shared the same language and essential culture. Yet for the last 6 decades and more, North and South Korea have been divided along a fortified DMZ, a strip of land running across the Korean peninsula. The story begins with the Japanese conquest of Korea at the end of the 19th century. From 1910 until 1945, Korea was a Japanese colony. At the end of World War II, it was clear to the Allied powers that they would need to take over the administration of Japanese-occupied territories until they could have their own election and set up their own government. The United States chose to oversee the Philippines as well as Japan. They were reluctant to take the oversight of Korea. Korea was not a high priority for the U.S. at the time. On the other hand, the Soviets were more than willing to take back the lands that they lost during the Russo-Japanese War. After the United States dropped the atomic bomb on Japan in 1945, the Soviet Union landed troops along the coast of northern Korea. Following the division of Korea made by 2 U.S. officials without consulting the Koreans, the Japanese forces surrendered to the Soviets in the north, while those in the south surrendered to the United States. Although they were supposed to have been nationwide elections to reunify Korea in 1948, neither side trusted the process, and the unification did not take place. The United States and South Korea have been allies since the United States intervened on the Korean Peninsula in 1950 and fought to repel a North Korean takeover of South Korea. On October 1st, 1953, the United States and South Korea signed a multiple defense treaty which provides that if either party is attacked by a third country, that the other party will attack to meet the common danger. Today, South Korea is one of the United States' most important strategic and economic partners in Asia. In addition to the United States' commitment to defend South Korea from aggression from North Korea, they work together to address the challenges of nuclear proliferation. Geographically, Korea is nestled between China on the north and Japan on the south. Today, though relations between South Korea and Japan have improved, there is still tension. This tension limits U.S. policy opinions in Southeast Asia, conflicting territory claims, and strategic and economic competition are some of the reasons for the strain. Beginning in the 1960s, rapid economic growth propelled South Korea into the ranks of the world's largest industrialized country. For nearly 2 decades, South Korea has been one of the United States' largest trading partners. China's rising influence in Southeast Asia has become an increasingly integral consideration of South Korea and the United States, ponder strategic and economic policy making. Knowing the geographical location of these countries in relation to South Korea as it contends with North Korea, political yeast is continuing to rise and be in constant motion. Given the above-mentioned relationship that South Korea has with the United States and the forces that could impede that symbiotic relationship, South Korea is very much valued by the United States, and investment in that part of the world is a necessity for America. As revealed by Ecclesiastes 4:9 and 12. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if 2 lie together, then they have heat, but how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. These verses of Scripture sum up the mutual defense treaty between the United States and the Republic of Korea. There is indeed a symbiotic relationship with these two nations.